Hello and welcome to iSkipper.net. This is the lesson where we're going to look at our engine checks and the checks before we go on a little journey out to sea. What I've got here is an acronym to help you with your engine check, and it's WOBBLE. We've got water, oil, belt, bilge, look and exhaust. So what I'm going to do is work through that acronym and have an actual look at a yacht engine. So what I've got to do now is get this hatch off, and this is quite a lump, so I've just got to be careful of trapping any toes or anything. I'm just going to put that to the side, make sure it's not going to slip over anywhere. So this is our little diesel engine. So our first check is for the water check, and what we're actually doing here is checking the coolant levels. So what we have is the seawater gets pumped in, that cools the coolant, and then the coolant circulates around the engine, keeping the engine cool. So the coolant is in this header tank. So what I need to do is just check that it's not hot, because if it was hot it would be under pressure, and when I open that cap I could well get a scald. So I'm just checking that. This engine actually hasn't been run today, so that's nice and cool. And I need to push down the cap and then twist it to open it. So that's there. I don't know if you can quite see there. The liquid is just above the elements. If that was running lower, I would have to just top it up with coolant or possibly water. It actually looks like it's a little bit low, but I know from experience this one, if you top it up anymore, it just overflows. So that's a nice level that it's found itself at. Going to make sure the cap goes on nice and secure. So that's on there. Next thing I've got to check is the oil in the engine, and what we've got at the back here is the dipstick, and I just need to check the oil levels just like we would with your car. So I've got a little bit of tissue, the dipstick comes out, I'm just cleaning it off. And I don't know if you can quite work out, but there's two notches in there. When I pop the dipstick back in, the oil should be in between them two points. So that's the dipstick right in there. Just give it a couple of seconds and then pull it back out. And again, I don't know if you can quite see that, the oil's, it's above halfway, kind of 3/4 of the way, so that's perfect. So we've got a couple of these in WOBBLE. One of them is belts, and we've got one belt on this engine, and that's here. And what we're looking for is a 90-degree turn in the belt. So in the middle, just 90-degree turn. If that turned any more, that would mean we're not running the alternator and probably wouldn't charge the batteries. If it was any tighter, it would just wear the belt away and it would eventually snap. So that 90-degree turn is pretty much spot on. The next B is the bilge, and actually underneath the engine, you probably can't see it, but there is a cutaway in there. If there was any liquids falling out the engine, it would collect in there. So you could expect oil, seawater, coolant, diesel, or a mixture of the whole lot. So if that was full of oil, for example, we'd know we've got an issue with the oil system, and we'd have to investigate further. We wouldn't go out to sea, we would get it checked out. It's not really part of the engine check, but this is where I would check the main bilge as well for water. And on this particular boat, it's just in here, underneath this sole board, and these are the compartments here. If these had water in, I would need to investigate further. So it could be fresh water, well, it could be water from the toilet, it could be seawater. So whatever it was, I'd have to just double check what that was and sort it out from there. So we're good there. And then back to our engine check, we've got an L for look, and this is where we have a general look over. I'm certainly not an engineer, but if there was something obvious, I would hope that I'd see it. Maybe a split in a hose or a Jubilee clip coming loose, something like that. So I'm just having a general look over, and that looks good. And then last of all, once we start up the engine, we should have cooling water getting circulated round, and this water that's been through the engine should be shot out the back of the boat. So I'm just going to kind of cut across to a shot of that, just to let you know what you should look for.